What's up everyone, it's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. So today's video I'm going to be comparing injectable SARMs to oral administered SARMs. So if you guys have been following my social media, I highly suggest you follow me on Instagram in case anything happens to this YouTube channel at Russo Lifts. So please shoot me a follow on there. You can message me, interact with me. I have daily Q&As. But if you guys have been following me on Instagram, you know I have participated in the week crazy cycle transformation, where I put on some tissue in a week, gained over 30 pounds on the scale in a week, most of it being water, glycogen, but significant amount of lean tissue. One of the main androgens in the cycle was injectable LGD 4033. So one of the first experiences that I'm going to put online about the injectable SARMs. I do have my friend who lives in Macedonia, Alec Matrivsky. He ran injectable S4, so I'm going to be weighing in some of the input he gave me as well on his experience with injectable S4 versus oral S4, and then I have the experience with the LGD. So I can say right off the bat, way stronger, insane. I think it's going to change the game, in my opinion. What I do want to see, what I didn't get to see, is the side effects, the effects on blood work, the ruining of good cholesterol. I want to see, if it's healthier than, blasting orals or injecting a hardening compound or a mass gaining compound on top of your test. If replacing it with a more selective, higher binding affinity injectable SARM is healthier than, the injectable hardening gear that is normally used in bodybuilding. That I don't know, that I need to see. I do believe Alec did get blood work done and it came back good, but he was on only injectable S4 and birth control for his estrogen. So his cycle was pretty low. I can't really use my cycle for a health prognosis of what it affects in the injectable method as far as side effects go, because there are so many other things combined with it that it's hard for me to isolate. And that's also a disclaimer, it's hard for me to isolate from this cycle, but I did get a lot of the high dosage LGD side effects from the injectable LGD. So if you guys have been following me for years, like some people, a couple years ago I did, or 2 years ago or something, I did the high dosage LGD 4033 experiment, where I got myself up to way above what people were going as far as LGD. I don't want to discuss specific dosages because I don't want to get banned on YouTube, but it was way above what you normally read online. And it absolutely suppressed the shit out of me. It was the worst PCT ever, and it probably crushed my cholesterol, which I brought back with Cardarine later. But yeah, it was pretty brutal at that dosage. And the side effects, so the body temp increase and the cramping. LGD 4033, the biggest side effect I know besides the obvious cholesterol skew, is the cramping, which basically, like, I would drive home from the gym, and if I was just flexing my tricep a little too hard, it would just completely Charlie horse. That was happening to me like all the time with the injectable LGD, so I probably need to drop the dosage, which means it's extremely potent. Now, Alec has an even better understanding of how strong it is, because I don't remember the specific dosages. I'm not going to talk specific dosages because I don't want to get banned on YouTube, but with S4, we all know that causes eyesight issues in the higher dosages. So he basically almost went blind from his experiments with the injectable S4 in the dosage that he thought he could tolerate. But it was way more potent, to a point where he was having a lot of trouble seeing. So that means there was a lot of AR binding going on in the eyes, a lot more than the oral form. So I can say probably without a doubt that it's way more potent than oral SARMs. It may change the game, but the disclaimer is there's no real good blood work to read yet. And you know, you don't know the dosages that, you know, no one has figured out the dosing yet, if you even want to utilize it. I definitely, if you plan to experiment with your rat, would start very low and then work your way up, because it's not going to be, it's going to be much more potent than the oral form. But that's my experience. It gave me the moon phase, typical LGD side for me. Body heat increase, body temp increase, and the cramping was the biggest. I know the cramping was much more insane than even the high dosage LGD 4033 experiment, which leads me to believe that it's much more potent. And as the blood work comes out, we might find out that it's either worse for your health or a lot healthier than regular injectable hardeners like Masteron and stuff like that. You know, if you could add in an injectable Austrian or injectable S23, you know, would you have relatively less side effects than the current hardeners that go around the bodybuilding world? I don't know. That's what makes it cool, because it's new. But that's my personal experience with it, and I only have a week experience with it. I will get Alec on a YouTube channel if you guys give this video a thumbs up, where we can discuss more into detail on his longer injectable SARM experiment, where he was basically utilizing SARMs only, because it's hard for me to pick out from that massive cycle. But I remember those specific side effects are pretty much only with me caused from high dosage LGD, and it was brutal. So yeah, that's my experience with injectable SARMs. Hope everyone is well, and subscribe if you're new here. Follow me on Instagram @RussoLifts, and I will see you in my next video.